Today's problem is Pascal triangle. This is on interview bit, so you can pause the video at this point, go over to interview bit, try the Pascal triangle program, and then come back and we'll walk through the solution. All right, difficulty easy. This is asked at Google and Amazon. The problem description: given an integer a equal to num rows, generate the first num rows of Pascal's triangle. I don't know why they introduced num rows here, but we'll be dealing with a. Pascal's triangle to generate, well, we'll look at an example of that. I'm going to hold off on that the definition of Pascal's triangle for now. Problem constraints. A is between 0 and 25. This is good to know. If you see this problem in an interview and it's not specified, then you would want to ask, can I assume that A will be greater than 0? And in this case, the answer would be no. No, you can't. So that's an edge case. We can handle it separately. You may also want to ask, what is the upper bound on A? 25 is pretty low. I mean, it's possible, depending on the upper bound of A, that an int would be too small to do this. So that's why you would want to know the upper bound. For 25, we can do ints. Let's see. First argument is an integer a. Output, return an array of integers, or actually a list of integers, equal to Pascal's triangle. All right. Example input, a equals 5, and here is the output. You've probably seen Pascal's triangle, not in this shape exactly. Normally the top vertex would be centered rather than left justified, but the number would be the same. Numbers would be the same. So let's see. If we need to generate every row, we can rely on a few things here. One is that the first row is always 1. After that, the first element of each row is always 1, and the last element of each row is always 1. Now, to calculate the other numbers, that's what they're talking about here. If you want to generate, why are they calling it A at C? Well, anyway, to generate a number in row R, you can go up to the previous row, get the matching element, and then one prior to the matching element, add them together, and you'll get the answer that you want. So, for example, this is given that the first row is 1. This is given that the first and last elements are 1. Now, this one, how do we get the 2? Well, from the 2, we go up and over, and we get 1 and 1, add them together, it's 2. What about this, like the 3? How would we get the 3? Well, again, you go up and over, you get 2 and 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3, and same thing here, the 3. You go up 1 and 2 is 3. The 4 here, up and over, 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so we can do the whole thing that way. There's a variation of this problem that adds a layer of difficulty to it, and that is sometimes you're asked to just generate the nth row of Pascal's triangle and not to generate every row up to row n. So you can generate these rows directly. They're binomial coefficients, so it's n, c, r, n choose r, And let's take, this row, for example, that is if we zero index it, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth row. So n is 4, and then r just goes across 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So n choose r with 4 and 0. How many ways can you choose 0 elements from 4 elements? And the answer is 1. How many ways can you choose 1 element from 4 elements? And the answer is 4. How many ways can you choose 2 elements from 4 elements? And the answer is 6, and so on. So you can calculate rows directly. It's a different problem, and it's a little bit harder in that you need to know how to calculate binomial coefficients. This one is just it's just addition. So let's look at what we're doing. We're going to define our output here, a list of lists called triangle. Now, if A is 0, which is possible, then we just return triangle. There's really no work to be done. All right. The first row. The first row is always just 1. So create the first row, we'll put a 1 in it, and then our list of lists triangle we will put in the first row. All right, now for the rest of the rows, let's see, we'll get the previous row, which is triangle get I minus 1. We'll create the current row as a new list, put 1 in as the first element. This for loop handles the inner elements. So notice that each row we'll call I. So this would be row 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's take row 3. So for this row, I is 3. The ith row, the third row, has 4 elements. So what we're looking at here is j going from 1 to 1 less than I. So again, for example, with the third row, j would just be 1 and 2. Those are the elements that we need to calculate, and the way that we calculate it is to go back to the previous row, which we grabbed right here, and get j and get j minus 1, add them, and that'll give us the number that we need. All right, and then we put a 1 at the end of the row, and we add the row to the triangle. Once we've done all that, return the triangle. Okay, let's try it out. All right, thanks for watching. If this was helpful to you, go ahead and hit like, subscribe. Check out the playlist on the screen. There's a lot of other videos there that will help you improve your interview skills. Look at the description for the video as well as the pinned comment. There's a link there to the 12 common interview patterns that actually get asked. It's a PDF, it's free, you can download it immediately, and if you're interviewing, I think it'll help you a lot. You don't want to be memorizing problems. You want to be you want to be learning the underlying logic, the patterns. Okay, so that's it, and we'll see you next time.